Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
So, in this week's portion, Moses is discussing from some great fundamentals of Jewish faith to the Jewish people before entering the land of Israel. You've ever heard the question, how do we know the Torah is true? How do we know the Torah is the word from God? Torah is divine. Perhaps over years it was made up, it was formulated, it evolved. How do we know that this is the word of God? I mean, every religion clearly points to the same thing, that it's the word of God. So the true word of God, please stand up. Which one is it? How do we know? Can we know? Is it possible to know? What's interesting is Moses addresses this question to the Jewish people just before they enter the land of Israel. And he gives them the following challenge. We take a look at our Chumash. It's chapter 4. Specifically, if we take a look in our Chumash here, page 1090, 1091.
What verse is it?
Specifically, chapter 4, verse 32. So Moses is, first of all, let's go to verse 32, and then we'll go back. He said, if you want proof of this, inquire now about the earliest times that were before you, from the day that God created man on earth. Inquire from the creatures that are found from one extremity of the skies to the other extremity of the skies. Was there ever such a great thing, or even a rumor like it, that a people should hear God's voice speaking out of the midst of the fire as you heard and survive? Or has any deity performed miracles, coming to a nation and taking it for himself out of another nation with proofs of true wonders, signs, wonders, fought by God himself as a strong hand and an outstretched arm with awesome acts, like everything that God, your God, did for you in Egypt before your own eyes? When the Torah was given, you were shown, in order for you to know that God is God, there is none other besides him. What's this challenge that Moses gives to the Jewish people? How do we know that this is the word of God? Because you're going to go in the midst of other nations who worship other deities, and they claim also that this and such is the word of their God. So which one is true? So here's one of the areas of the Torah which points out a challenge that applies till today. What is the claim which is made in the Torah? And any claim, anything which is in history, we all know that history repeats itself. Whatever is natural can repeat itself and will repeat itself naturally. That is the course of nature. If I'm going to go into a casino and I'm going to be taking a roll of the dice, and I roll it and I get double sixes, people are going to go, woo, wow. A crowd begins to form. Look at this. This is cool. I take now my dice. I start rolling again. There you go. Double sixes. Now people are roaring. Woo! More people start coming. I take my dice again, roll them, double sixes. Now everyone is around me, and they're all watching. What do you think is starting to happen also in this casino? What's probably going to happen?
The pit boss thinks you're cheating, wants to check your dice.
Let me check these dice. What do you have in there? What are these dice? Naturally, should I always be rolling double sixes? No, naturally not. Because anything natural should repeat itself. If it's natural to roll double sixes again and again and again, then it should repeat itself. It should be a natural phenomenon. Since it's viewed with skepticism that I should continuously roll double sixes, that means something is fishy. Something is wrong here. That's how we view, in general, anything historical, anything with natural. Anything natural should repeat the pattern naturally. And if it doesn't repeat itself naturally, something is off, or something is really out of the ordinary. Let's say they check the dice and it truly is, or they don't say, okay, you know what, hold on. You're not going to roll these dice. Roll one of our dice. And every time he's given a different set of dice, he rolls double sixes. Now this is truly remarkable. So what is the claim made in the Torah? The claim made in the Torah regarding the giving of the Torah to the Jewish people. How do we know it's true? Oh, because the Torah says. Thank you. How do we know the Torah is true? That says it's true. Because it says it's true. You're chasing your tail.
Indeed you are.
But if there's a claim made in the Torah that it's divine, then it should repeat itself, meaning that others should also claim it's divine, which it does.
How so?
Every religion claims that their word is the word of God and it's divine. That's no big deal. It repeats itself. But there is a slight difference.
Okay.
Moses here points to the very fact, addresses the Jewish people. You will go to other nations. You will hear about history. You will hear about other people's claims. Has any other nation made a claim that they heard the word of God publicly to the entire nation as you have?
I don't
Live
think
to
so.
tell about it.
I don't think so.
Interestingly, every other claim is made that individuals were privy to a revelation and the word of God. They were privy to that. Only individuals. Now, imagine if I make a claim that last night, 3:30 a.m., I couldn't fall asleep. I decided to get up and just start reading in my backyard. And then all of a sudden, behold, a UFO comes and lands right in front of me. Comes a creature out of the spaceship and shares with me secrets of another world.
Truth. Yeah.
And shares with me visions, shares with me what I'm going to share with you right now. Do you believe me or not?
I wouldn't believe you.
Perhaps. Depends how vivid it is, how descriptive I am, how charismatic I may be. You'll take my word for it or not.
I'll
Can you
believe that you
disprove me? You can't disprove me because I'm sharing something that happened that claims to have happened at 3:30 in the morning. Who was up at that time? It happened, my backyard, no one is there. And it's gated during rush hour. Or it happened, let's say not on Michigan Avenue. Let's say it happened in the middle of the Edens at 5:30. The spaceship came, landed in the middle of the Edens. Everything stopped. And there was this revelation. Now do you take my word for it? Now do you believe me?
There's evidence.
Yeah?
There's pictures.
No, I'm saying, this is what I'm telling you what happened.
Oh, everybody saw it. Everybody heard
No,
it.
it's not just my word. Now it's my word against, well, wait a second. If you claim this happened at 5:30, then there should have been other reportings of this.
Right.
Did anyone post this on social media? Did anyone else report about this? If no one else reported about this, wait a second, what's going on? Why are you the only one? Did you get were you the one who was given the rights to report this?
That's it.
But wait a second. I was also going on the Edens at that time. I didn't see anything.
Ah.
My good friend travels at that time at the very same place. Let me ask him. Did he hear something like this? Did he see this? Nope. Now it's fishy. If I'm claiming that something happened publicly, then
That's a different story.
there should have been other reportings. The claim made in the Torah is that the Torah was not given to Moses on Sinai in a private setting.
Why?
Everything was done publicly.
He
The
went up
Torah
there.
was given publicly. That's the claim.
He went up there.
Wait a second. Let's just imagine that the Torah was made up. Let's just entertain that for a moment. Let's imagine how this evolved. There was a person, let's call him Moses, or for that matter, let's just say this person, this individual, let's call him Seymour. Seymour was the one who developed this notion, this idea that the Torah was given at Sinai. And so he turns to a people and wants to inspire them and says, you know, people, you are special. You know, people, you are a chosen nation and you were given this word of God. Wow, we're special. We're given the word of God. Tell us about it. And he tells them the story of Moses taking the Jewish people out of Egypt, and they were at Sinai, and they were all there, and they heard the word of God. Wow, that's amazing. Tell us, what should we do? So he tells them, we have special laws. We are not we are to do this every day. We are to pray every day. We are to wear special garments. We are to keep the Sabbath. Oh, that means this one day we can't do any work? No work. No fire, no work. Oh, okay. That's a little restricting, but it's okay. Some more restrictions. You can only eat certain things. By the way, if a person does behave in a certain way, you'll be rewarded with good life. You'll be rewarded with an afterlife. Oh, that's wonderful. What else? By the way, all the males, come here for a moment. We got to do a little surgical procedure. What? Oh, come on over here. We're gonna do a little job.
Little surgery.
Yeah, God said. Well, let's take a look at history. history, we know historically that Jews have circumcised themselves, have kept the laws of the Torah, even to the pain of death, because of this evolved story.
Okay.
So first of all, this story is claimed to have happened
3,500 years.
publicly to the Jewish people. At this point, wait a second, shouldn't people ever be questioning and saying, I turned to my cousin, as you know, my father would tell me bedtime stories. Wasn't a great storyteller, but he would tell me some stories from time to time. He never told me this story, though. It was Seymour who revealed this to us. Seymour told us that this happened to our people. If this claim to have happened years ago to our people, shouldn't Papa have told us this story? He turns to my brother and sister. Did Papa ever tell you this story about his ancestors? We're at Sinai and we're given these laws. Seymour revealed this to us. But did you ever hear anything like this? No. Maybe Papa skipped that story.
Forgot about it.
Let's turn to our uncle, our cousins. Our cousins, my uncle, our uncle, he was a master storyteller and he passed down family traditions. Tell me, have you ever heard anything like this? No, never heard anything like this. So wait a second, shouldn't people have ever questioned? We never heard anything like this. So maybe Seymour was the one who reminded us all of this collective memory. Should Seymour's name ever have gone down in history as the one to have returned this collective memory?
You would think so.
Seymour is not recorded anywhere in Jewish history as having returned this collective memory. But the greatest question is, anything like this, if this is a natural phenomena, that a claim to have happened publicly should be accepted by a nation, there could be two possibilities. Either this is a natural phenomena, that a nation should be reminded of their collective memory to have happened openly and revealed openly. If this is a natural phenomena, then this should happen again and again through history, that other nations should claim that there was a natural phenomena, that a divine entity should reveal itself before a nation to give them a divine direction, that it should have happened that again and again, which we do not find because every other theology was given privately. The other possibility is this must have been the most foolish nation on earth to have been duped, that in fact their people has had a collective amnesia. And here, Seymour the Great returned their collective memory and revealed it to them. Well, interestingly, in this very same portion, the Torah says, this will be your wisdom amongst the nations. Oh, of course, that's what Seymour did. He takes the most foolish nation on earth and he convinces them that this is your wisdom amongst the nations. And you know what happened?
They believed it.
Indeed, they believed it. And they became the ones who won the most Nobel Prizes on earth. See how great Seymour is? He convinced the dumbest people on earth to become the ones
Become smart.
who have the greatest, who possess this greatest wisdom. Wow. That itself should inspire others to follow the same route. Take people and convince them that they're the smartest, and that'll happen again and again and again. The phenomena is this has never happened ever in history. Anything natural should repeat itself historically. So there may be another possibility. The other possibility is that it really happened. There's more we can discuss about this, to dissect and to analyze this challenge that Moses gives to the Jewish people. But this is the challenge that has held up. The challenge was given 3,300 years ago, or it was even given by Seymour some thousands of years ago. But that challenge has held itself up. So either, wow, interesting that this challenge held itself up, or maybe really it is divine. Something to think about before we take on the day. Have an awesome day.
I'm gonna go find you.